So we're going to move on into chapter 3. Chapter 3 is all about surface area, volume, and capacity. Capacity is another word to explain how much something can hold. What's its capacity? When we look at 3.1 here, we're going to take over and just basically look at surface area. So how do we find area? So before we actually look at surface area, we're going to look at areas of two-dimensional figures. So like squares, rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, and circles. So this next page is a diagram page. So a rectangle is length times width. A square is the side squared. The parallelogram is base times height. So base and then a 90-degree from the base to the height. That 90-degree could be here even, straight down. Triangle is 1/2 base times height. The height comes from the vertex of the one corner down to the base. Okay. Then circle is pi r squared. R stands for your radius, and pi is actually a button. It stands for 3.14. It's a button on your calculator to use all the decimals. Do not just type in 3.14. On our calculator, it'll load up here, and I'll show you where that pi button is. Now, the other thing is a trapezoid. The trapezoid is a triangle with its head cut off, basically. So you could see that this is the bottom of a triangle, and if we carried on up here, those 2 points would meet and make a triangle, but we cut off its head, basically. So taking a look, I wanted to show you this, where the pi button is on this thing. So if we hit second and then the little hat, it comes up as a pi, and if we hit enter, 3.14159.254, your calculator has it programmed to lots of decimals, so we're going to use all those when we do some calculations. So we're going to look at these. We're going to calculate the area of all of these. So first of all, we got to figure out what is this. This is a rectangle. Okay, what's the formula? Length times width. So I come in here, length is the longest side, 6.8, width is the shortest side, 4.5. So we plug it into our formula, 6.8 times 4.5. We go into our calculator, 6.8 times 4.5 equals 30.6. Now we multiplied, these are in centimeters, we did centimeter by centimeter, so our answer should contain a unit that's centimeters squared. B here, we can recognize that as a triangle. If we go to our triangles, 1/2 base times height. So base, 12.8, height, 7.8. Go into our formula, plug it in, 1/2 base times height. I'm putting that into my calculator. I can either do 0.5 because I know 1/2 stands for 0.5, or I can type bracket 1 divided by 2 and bracket to stand for 1/2. So I do 0.5 times 12.8 times 7.8 to give me 49.42, or I do 1 divided by 2, has to be in brackets though, times 12.8 times 7.8 gives me 49.92. Go back up here. This was in centimeters. Area is usually, or I shouldn't say usually, it's always a length squared. So this is centimeters squared. So now we have a parallelogram. Ooh, how do I know? It basically looks like a rectangle that's been pushed over. Okay, so a rectangle's been pushed over, and parallelograms have two sides parallel here and the other two sides parallel. Go back and look at the parallelogram formula, base times height. So here's our base, 3.1 meters. Our height forms a 90-degree from the base up to the top, 2.1 meters. So we get base times height, 3.1 times 2.1 gives me 6.51 meters squared. Remember, to look at what unit it actually is. When we find area, it's that length squared. Okay, so now you're going to build your skills. You're going to try and find the area of all these different things here. Good luck.